Okay, so I think this is the camp vlog that people are maybe a little bit more interested to see and hear about. It's going to be the vlog about numbers. So kind of what I did week in, week out, how that may or may not have translated into performance after camp and whether or not I got fitter. So without further ado, I thought I'd get straight into it. I travel out on Sundays because it's the day that I usually do the least amount of training. So I usually just do a long run and then take the rest of the day off easy, and it's the best day to travel for me because then I don't lose out on any training going into the next week. So day one really was Monday, where I did swim, run, as per usual, as I do in Cardiff, and then the big bike session was actually quite big. It was, I think, 8 by 8 minutes, around there, and I held about 380 watts per rep, and they're all on hills. So yes, it's a little bit easier to put out the power on the hills, but at the same time, tested the lactic, it was all good in that kind of threshold zone for me, and the heart rate was looking good as well. So I was really pleased with that because it's the biggest, longest threshold session that I've done to date this year, and it was an improvement on last year as well because we tend to do the same sessions year in, year out on camp so that we have a comparison, so we know we're going in the right direction as well. So that was on Monday. If I roll through to Tuesday, again, that's a big day for me, as you know from my other videos. Swim, run, 2-hour bike, and then another run in the evening, and I tend to run that a little bit more solid aerobic, more zone 2 aerobic, a sort of effort. So 2 back-to-back big days to open up the camp. Wednesday is another big day, a big volume day, went out in the rain, and whilst it wasn't like a high loading day in terms of intensity, it was wet, it was not good, right, in terms of kind of that general grind through recovery day. It was not that for me at all, and I got ill. So I think I got ill because of the builder back in Cardiff, but I didn't give myself a chance to actually stay healthy. So the rest of the week was a little bit subpar. If I look at it quickly, I was meant to do a threshold swim session on the Thursday, and I kind of just had to float through that. I was a bit useless. Didn't do a run session on Friday. Instead, I just did an aerobic run, literally stopped in the middle of the run, took 10 minutes to myself, just standing there thinking, what on earth am I doing? I should just be in bed, or I should just be chilling out. But nonetheless, ground through, and then in the afternoon went for a swim, did 20 minutes and then got out. I was just like, nah, this is not for me. And that's when I know, I'm pretty stubborn, but that's when I know I need to just chill out for the rest of the day, see how I feel tomorrow, and then just go from there. So the Saturday I drew it back a little bit and did 4 hours instead of 5. Really wanted to be with the rest of the guys, but thought, nah, it's best I just chill out. And then saw out the last day of the week with a 90-minute aerobic run with Yeston. So instead of doing an additional 2-hour ride on that Sunday as well. So I did peel back a little bit, but again, not loads. All in all, it was about 28 hours that week. I planned 30 hours. On camp, I usually do up to maybe 32 hours. TSS was about 1,300, I think it was. Yeah, 1,370, so pretty solid week still, probably because of the first couple of days, and that just carried me through for the rest of the week. So week 2 started with a chain gang, just with Derry, and I put my best foot forward for Derry because he needed someone to do his session with, and I was on my arse. I was really struggling through that. I did it the best I could. He wanted to do a sprint finish at the end. I had nothing to give, so I kind of just like rolled through, kept the speed high, had a good session, held 355 watts normalized on the circuit, which is exactly the same as last year, but I think I'm a little bit fitter than last year. And yeah, I felt awful instead of feeling good like I did last year. But yeah, 355 watts for about 70 minutes, which was decent, but felt awful. Just didn't feel good at all. So again, just rolled through training as best I could. Got to Tuesday, tried another swim session, wasn't a go, like just struggled through it, just was not myself. But still did a pretty big day all in all. So I think that was a 5-hour day again. So this second week I was just rolling through, trying to get back on top of things and making sure that I was trying to do sessions. But to be honest, it wasn't until about Friday that I started feeling a little bit better. Even Thursday I started feeling fairly good. I did a big Thursday bike session, which I like to do, which was effectively 75 minutes of like kind of high LT1 tempo on the bike. Held 335 watts, I think it was, if I was to just click in here. And yeah, it felt pretty good. Did that with Yeston. It's a really good session for me in terms of just like bumping that fitness up a little bit. It's a 3-hour 15 ride in total. So yeah, it was about that. Yeah, exactly 335 watts normalized, just kind of rolling through pretty solid on the terrain, making sure I was riding it fast. And then Friday had an actually really good run session for me. The paces were decent, like 3:10 to 3:15 per K for 8x5 minutes, which was like, that's one of my better sessions, and I was really pleased with it. I did it in carbons as well, so just that little bit of turnover, because I'm about to go into an Ironman block, so I don't want to get too kind of like sluggish and stuck in that easy-ish sort of, not easy-ish, but low turnover sort of vibe. So yeah, that was Friday. Saturday I did the 5-hour ride with everyone, and then Sunday I did my 2-hour bike ride into an aerobic run, which was about 1:40, but 20-ish K, 21K. So overall that week was 32, almost 33 hours, and TSS wise it was almost 1700 TSS. So really good week, considering I was feeling pretty awful for the first part. And then on the following week, the last week, the third week of camp, did a bike session on the Monday as per usual. So it was a build session, had a lot of fun with that. So built through to pretty solid, like 400 watts for maybe 10 minutes at the end, I think it was. And I did test, and my lactic was high, obviously. Like, I mean, that was way above my threshold. So good fun, like got involved with the rest of the group, which is really nice to do, and I actually felt decent as well, which again is a bit of a rarity. So yeah, it was 405 watt normalized for 13 minutes pretty much. But yeah, a lot of fun. Build session, moved on to the Tuesday swim. I started feeling good again, which was an absolute relief. So Tuesday is a key swim session. Then Wednesday again rolled through a big long aerobic day, 4 hours on the bike, an hour run and hour 20 swim. So yeah, all going well there. Bit of recovery as well, active recovery. Thursday went into 14 times 300 meters fartlek in the pool. Long course, everything is long course. It's really tough on camp because we're not used to swimming long course all the way through the week. This one is one of the biggest sessions that we do, and I love it. I love that long, arduous kind of big sessions. And I did well. I think I held about, well, I've got it here, so ons were about 342 to 338, so nothing outrageous, but straight into offs at 350 to 347 per 300 meters. So that's about, I think it's, well, 38s, 39s is 73s per 100, and then the offs were about 75, 76s per 100. So pretty solid, and it was a tight turnaround as well, so we weren't getting too much rest, maybe up to 10 seconds. So yeah, that was a really promising session, the only promising swimming session that I had really. And then again, I did the Thursday bike session that afternoon as well. Went pretty solid, built through, because I felt as though the Monday bike session didn't really do it for me. I thought, not that week, sorry, the week before, I just wanted a little bit more of a hit out, like close to a threshold. So I did that, and it was good. The lactics came in pretty solid, so I think at 340 watts, I was under 2 millimoles still, quite a bit under. So yeah, all in all, very good on Thursday. So it seemed like I was back to normal. Friday, again, I did the same session as I did the week before. However, my calves got quite tight and I didn't actually do it quite as many reps, but it was a similar pace. So I was actually feeling quite good within them, but I didn't want to push it and then my calf ping and, you know, I get an injury or anything like that. So called it a little bit early, still got a really good session out. So 90 minutes of running, 20K. all in all, and then afternoon swim session, just aerobic, chilled. 5-hour bike ride on the Saturday, and then travel on the Sunday. We did a short aerobic run, 60 minutes, but I was absolutely shattered from the night before because it was the last night before the end of camp. We went out for some food and a few drinks, and yeah, just put myself on the back foot a little bit for that morning. It was quite an early rise. I think we started the run at about 6:20, and I'd had 4 or 5 hours sleep, so probably not the best example of what to do, but it was nice to get out and get a bit of fresh air before travel. And that week was 31.5 hours because I didn't get my full Sunday in, and then it was about 1600 TSS. So again, another solid week all in all, considering I didn't actually do a proper Sunday. It was just kind of a little bit of float through. And yeah, I think overall 3 weeks on camp. 1 week was a little bit duff in the middle, from, let's call it, Thursday to Thursday, and then the other 2 weeks I'm pretty pleased with. I think that I've come off the back of camp quite fit, quite healthy, and a little bit, obviously there's more to want and get, but in comparison to this time last year, I'm in a good place, and I'm looking forward to the season. It's rolling through pretty quick, going on another camp, and hopefully get a few more benefits, gains, and there's lots of other things that are going on which are really exciting as well. So yeah, stay tuned. I hope you liked it. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more, and I'll see you next time.